Welcome to Business Casual. I am Mihae Ahn, your host and author of The Stories We Tell and Perfectly Incomplete. Business Casual brings you unfiltered conversations with badass, inspiring, highly accomplished women. I am passionate about and believe in the power of sharing stories, our authentic, raw, incomplete stories, getting beyond the polished LinkedIn profiles to the real humans behind the titles. My guest today is Nancy MacKay. Nancy is the founder and CEO of MacKay CEO Forums. I am honored to call her my mentor. She is one of the most inspiring leaders I know, hands down, whose mission is to populate the world with inspiring leaders. She leads by example every single day. I'm excited to bring this episode to life for so many reasons, including these key takeaways. Love in the workplace is a thing. It is about caring for the people we work with as human beings and telling the truth in a judgment-free way. To be an inspiring leader, we want to master our time. We all have about 100 waking hours a week. To learn more about time mastery, I recommend checking out Nancy's book titled I Don't Have Time. Love starts with self-care, self-love. Follow the 5-to-1 ratio, positive thoughts to negative thoughts ratio. Every day, take some time to reflect and celebrate wins, both big and small. I hope you enjoy the conversation filled with practical insights. Hi, Nancy. How are you?
Hi, Mihae. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for inviting me to be on your podcast.
Well, for obvious reasons, you're one of the first people that I thought about and wanted to invite you. I was hoping to have our conversation as the first episode, but I understand schedule and so on. I'm just so grateful that I have you in the podcast. Thank you very much. To get going, would love to have our audience know you, get to know you a bit. So very briefly, who you are and your mission and purpose, please.
My whole dream is to populate the world with inspiring leaders, and I founded MacKay CEO Forums 20 years ago. We're celebrating this year because I could see that it was lonely at the top. And we all have the same issues and challenges, but it's very difficult to find the right people to help us solve our problems and maximize our best opportunities. And that's exactly why we've had over 5,000 amazing human beings like you, Mihae, and Eric Sugar, and many of your colleagues across the country join our peer groups over the past 20 years. And my view is that if we can all work together, especially as Canadians, to collaborate and populate the world with inspiring leaders, that we're going to make such a huge difference. And in particular, my biggest focus right now is to support the Canadian business community. I mean, we're Canadian owned and we just serve that community. And I'm very passionate about supporting business leaders across Canada.
One of many things I learned from you over the years is the concept of leading with love and non-judgmental way. Because I think we humans have tendency to go quickly to judgment, but you want to lead with love. You want to park ego, and you recommend leaders park ego and less judgment when we interact with others. That concept of love, I thought early in my career, what I was taught, what I learned is being professional means no emotions and just go hard with facts and figures and numbers and no emotions. So that was quite refreshing to hear from you and learn from you. If you can elaborate a little bit on that, that would be appreciated.
Thanks, Mia. I love talking about love, and in particular, love in the workplace.
Yeah.
because I think that fundamentally, the number one basic human need is love. And my definition of business love is really all, and it incorporates judgment free. So when we think about business love, we think about the people that we're working with, let's say. And relationship mastery is based on having a mindset of love every single human being. You may not love all of their behaviors, you can still love the human being. And so it's three things, right? It's approaching every single person as a caring, loving human being. And then the second thing is when you love someone, you tell the truth. So being able to have these candid, honest conversations, because when you love someone, you're going to take the time to tell the truth in a judgment-free way. And then the final thing is it's unconditional, because even if it turns out that you're not happy with me, or you don't like what I have to say, or you end up leaving me, quitting, or whatever that is, I can still love you and wish you all the best. So love is unconditional and it's judgment free. And if we could just have every business leader treating people as human beings, and we show up as caring, vulnerable, assertive human beings. And that's really, how do we show up as the best version of ourselves? It's about every day striving to show up as a caring, vulnerable, assertive human being. So it's a big topic. And business is about people, and it's about relationships. So if we don't get the whole love thing really grounded in that's what it's about, very difficult, I think, to be successful in business in today's world.
Why do you think it is hard for many businesses to lead with love?
Well, I think there's this whole thing about love in the workplace, and that's just not something we can talk about. And I think that's just kind of old school leadership, which is what you described, right? Like you show up at work and you just do work.
Mhm.
And that's like old school. Like no one wants to work in a company where it's just all about work and we treat each other as co-workers
Mhm.
instead of treating each other as human beings. And so you know this, we do 90-day plans at MacKay Forms, business, family, and personal in our peer groups. Who are your game changers? We talk about everything, business, family, personal. So we get to know each other as human beings. So this way we can support each other and love each other, all aspects of our lives, not just work, work, work. So I think people are uncomfortable using the love word in the workplace. And I think that's just old school
Yeah.
leadership, where it's like command and control and you're just telling people what to do. Whereas modern, current, relevant leadership is about, you've heard me say this, I'm at the bottom of the org chart. I'm here to serve my team, and my team serves our chairs and our members. And it's really, it's not about me having all the answers, and right. It's about me caring and having honest accountability conversation on all these things that we do. So it's a shift in mindset, Mihae, that so grateful that I have the opportunity to speak my truth and say that this is what the business world needs: more love. That's what we need.
Yes. And you do lead with lead by example. So appreciate that. And um, the very first time that I heard you speak about this is a few years ago at our virtual event. And ever since then, I feel way more comfortable because I see someone like you leading by example. Okay, I can really show up with love. And using that language is okay. And I feel more comfortable operating from love. So I thank you. And when it is ripple effect, right? One person does it and the next person does it, and that impact is getting bigger and bigger. So yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you. Yes, I love my team. I love you. I love my
Yes.
customers. And I love my husband and my kids. And part of it too is there's this scarcity mindset of, oh, you can only love certain people. versus if you have an abundance mindset,
Mhm.
I have a lot of love to give. And it starts with my husband and my kids and my family and what have you. And actually it starts with self-love, which is spending time and you're like the master of this, writing your amazing, inspiring book on the imposter syndrome, and you've inspired so many people, including my daughter Devin, which I'm forever grateful for you being a mentor to her. And so it's just one of these things where it starts with self-love, and every day celebrating your wins, the small wins, the big wins, really, and and stepping into your success, and all those things that go along with it. So, and when I do that, and I've coached so many CEOs, executives on self-love and how do you really step into what that really means, then you can have love as an abundance, because you have a lot of love to give other people when you take the time to really uh, focus on yourself, starting with you.
Yes. Another thing that I uh, learned from you, which I haven't mastered yet, I'm still trying, even after reading your book. I will include link to Nancy's book about time management, but the whole managing time, how do you do this? In a nutshell, people will need to read Nancy's book, but in a nutshell, time mastery.
Well, as you know, that's a huge passion I have, is
Yes.
helping CEOs, executives, business owners master their time. Because when you master your time, you master your life. And when you master your life, you're jumping out of bed in the morning and you just want to make the biggest contribution, all aspects of your life. And so my definition of time mastery is it's a very personalized approach. So what works for me or what works for you doesn't work for everyone. So everyone has their own approach. And it really is about maximizing your individual productivity so that you're able to make the biggest contribution. And one of the biggest mistakes that I find after 20 years of coaching thousands of CEOs and executives around time is having a mindset of, I don't have time.
Yep.
That's why the book is called I Don't Have Time. And the reality is you do have time. You actually have 24/7 and 100 waking hours a week if you get the recommended amount of sleep, which is 7 to 8 hours a night, which we have a major chronic sleep deprivation problem in the Canadian business community for sure. So you've got these 100 waking hours. If you're proactive to say, I'm not going to work 24/7, I'm actually going to block time with my workouts, with my meditation, with my family, whatever I need to be the best version of myself, then our mind goes, okay, well, then I only have so many hours today, this week, this month to make the biggest contribution to this thing called work. That's just a complete mindset shift to, I do have time. I have 100 waking hours a week. So then it's up to me to be strategic about my time, to prioritize my time. So that, and then having that 90-day plan, written 90-day plan, business, family, personal. So you have a structure to make sure that you're not having regrets in terms of how you're spending your time.
Nancy, do you have stories around how you successfully established boundaries? Because many things that I heard from many folks, and also I suffer that too, not saying no enough, um, or not being able to prioritize what we need to prioritize because of many things happening around us. Uh, yeah, how do you prioritize and how do you set up boundaries?
That's a very challenging part of this time mastery, because we live in a 24/7 world.
Mm-hmm.
So if we actually wanted to work 24/7, we could.
Yep.
And that's like a recipe for burnout.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the heartbreak. So the number one thing is I learned early on when I first started chairing these peer groups 20 years ago at Macasio Forums. And one of our forum chairs, Dr. Larry Olhauser, he said to me, dead CEOs don't meet their targets. And that is something that I personally took to heart.
Mhm.
And I thought to myself, number one, setting boundaries is health is my number one priority.
Yeah.
So I'm going to work out every day. I'm blocking that time. I'm going to meditate every day. I'm going to take care of my health. I'm not skipping medical appointments. I'm going to take it seriously.
Yeah.
That boundary is, and in the work that I do, it's very heartbreaking for me that people don't set boundaries around take care of your health, because without your health, you've got nothing. So that's like so fundamental. And the second thing is setting boundaries around, look, we all have personal, family, business, and realizing that personal and family is the most important part of life. And so making sure that I have my weekly date nights with my husband and time with my kids and planning our family vacations and putting those things in the calendar, especially as an entrepreneur, it was like really hard to set those boundaries and juggle everything. And what I did learn early on, and especially the nature of the work that I do, I've learned from the mistakes others have made. I've learned from other people who've been my mentors that set the boundaries and really get focused on your family and personal relationships matter more than anything else. And you don't want to sacrifice that or your health for this thing called work. And then it's really figuring out within work, I can't say yes to every volunteer opportunity that comes my way. I can't say yes to every business opportunity that comes my way. So I have to get very, very focused with my 90-day plan, business, family, and personal. What are the big rocks that, as the CEO, I really need to focus on so that I can be making the biggest contribution in all areas of my life? And then I have to say no to things. And it's hard because I want to help a lot of people. I want to be able to serve the world. And the reality is, I'm one human being. I have 24/7. I have 100 waking hours. So it's just being very disciplined. And the 9-day plan and sharing it with my top team, everybody's very disciplined around what we say yes to, what do we say no to.
Do you ever feel imposter syndrome, Nancy?
Absolutely, Mihae. And that's one of the things I loved about your book is like there's a language about a language around like what is that? And why is it that people have self-doubts?
Mhm.
And so that's the whole toolkit of, I call it mental toughness, which it's like strategy number 4 in my I don't have time book, because we waste a lot of time when we're having our self-doubts and we go below the line and, oh my goodness, what if I'm not good enough, smart enough, fast enough, and comparing ourselves to other people. And so it's yeah, every day it's stepping into, this is why I say self-love is the sort of opposite of imposter syndrome, stepping into your success, celebrating wins every day. It's the whole thing, like it's a 5-to-1 ratio of positivity to negativity is the rule that I use. And I used to just talk about, oh, as a leader, you have to fill the emotional bank account with the people around you to build up their self-esteem and their self-love and catch people doing things right. And it's a 5-to-1 positive to negative. Now, what I do when I'm coaching CEOs, in addition, it's a 5-to-1 catching ourselves doing things right all day long, because our ego and our judge is going to want to judge ourselves. We're not good enough, smart. We want to judge. Our judge wants to judge everybody else. And so it's the 5-to-1 ratio every day of taking some time to reflect on, give myself a pat on the back. I got to spend time with Mihae, and I hopefully am helping your listeners in some small way here today. I'll give myself a pat on the back, and why not? And so this way, when I mess up and I send an email to the wrong person, or I don't show up as the best version of myself because I end up, for whatever reason, being cranky because I didn't get enough sleep or whatever, I can just accept that and let that go. And I don't have to beat myself up because I'm constantly celebrating the big wins, the small wins all day long.
started a 5 minute gratitude journal. I will add that as part of it, 5 to 1.
5 to 1 every day,
Yes.
self-love. That's
Yeah.
how it goes. And then you start to eliminate that imposter syndrome and just eliminate the 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 negative energy that it
Mhm.
brings. And we all have imposter syndrome. There's every day 60,000 thoughts in our head. Most of them are wanting us to judge ourselves and judge other people and judge our circumstances. And the reality is we can either choose that or focus on winning and success and what we really want. And that's what's going to help us really show up as the best version of ourselves every day.
I heard the word that you used, judge, few seconds ago. Thank you for the recommendation. Positive Intelligence, the book. I'm in chapter 6 right now. It is very helpful.
It's
How-
mental fitness. It
yes.
is a changing mental fitness tool, uh,
Mhm.
daily success habits to keep us positive, especially with all the negative energy that's going on everywhere, right?
Yes. One, the question that I wanted to ask last before we end our time together was, what's next for you? Because I know the longevity thing, the 100-year life, another thing that I learned from you and read a few books around that concept, which is exciting. So yeah, what is next for you, Nancy?
Yes, I'm very excited about the 100-year life, and we've rolled out retreats across the country for our peer groups on getting people to really be understanding that the next 10 years, medical advances are exponential. So we're so lucky to be on the planet in this world where we're going to have access to so much preventative health care and things like that. So I'm turning 60 this fall, and I feel like I will get halfway there to my goal of 120, and then I'm going to go boom. And that's my goal with a healthy lifespan. So that means I have to really treat my health seriously every day and make it my number one priority. And so then when we think about what's the future, we're also celebrating 20 years at MacKay Forums this year. All year long, we're celebrating. In fact, that's our theme, celebrate all year long. And I just started a new $1 billion plus CEO group. It's a national group based out of Vancouver, which is where I'm mainly based. And I said to my CEO group, I said, I got another 20 years in me. I've been doing this for 20 years. I got another 20 years in me. One of our longest serving chairs is Larry Olhauser. He's turning 80 in September. And I figure if he can keep chairing peer groups until he's 80, why not me? And as long as I have my health, I'll continue to populate the world with inspiring leaders until I go up to 120 and go boom. So that's what I'm really excited about. And then personally, I'm just excited about learning new tools on how can I be the best version of myself every day, continuing to read your books like The Imposter Syndrome, the Positive Intelligence book. I'm also doing my fourth book now. It's a Forbes book on It's Lonely at the Top, which is going to have all of the aspects of passion mastery and health mastery and time mastery all in one book to share with the world. So very excited about the future, and never been more excited than I am now in terms of populating the world with inspiring leaders.
Ah, Nancy, please keep going. Please. Yeah, I really appreciate and totally buy into the purpose and mission that you have. Um, and cheer for you. And I am excited to continue to learn from you. So thank you. And the next book that you're working on, cheer for you on that too. I love all the books that you've written so far, very dense and practical. That's how I would describe the books that you write. So Looking forward to reading the next one.
Thank you, Mihae. Thank you for being such a huge inspiration for me. I love our peer mentoring relationship that we have. That I thank Eric Sugar for putting us together and recommending that we spend more time together. I've learned so much from you over the years. Grateful for our partnership with ProServe IT and everything you're doing to contribute to our MacKay community. And so thank you and congratulations on your podcast.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you for the time. I'll see you in Vancouver.
Yes, look forward to seeing you next week.
That's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. Please remember you have more agency than you often realize. Choose your stories. I'll see you next time.